Okay, hello my little spookies. We are going out today to do some Halloween shopping. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Yeah, I've just been seeing everyone post stuff online about their stores being full. I live in Hawaii, so we don't have as many stores as other places have. I said this in my previous video, but we have Tjmaxx, we have Marshalls, we have Walmarts, we have Targets. We don't have At Home, we don't have Home Goods. We don't have Home Goods, guys. Like, that's just sad. Yeah, so that's a big one. And what else? We don't have Cracker Barrel. We don't have a lot, honestly, but we're gonna make the most of what we do have. Oh, and we do have Bath & Body Works here, so although they dropped their line recently and I wasn't a fan, I'm gonna be completely honest, I've not ever really been a fan, other than when I was like 13. So I have like a pocket back holder from them from last year, and that's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have anything else. Oh, and then I have some like wall plugins that my mom gave me. But yeah, so I'm just really excited. Today we're gonna go to Tjmaxx. We're gonna go to Marshalls. We're gonna do our first scoping, kind of. I did sneak in a scope yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I went into a Tjmaxx because it was close to a Costco and I was going grocery shopping. And they had a couple things. They had 3 things. So I was really excited to see that because, I don't know, any Halloween stuff is a good thing. It's a good thing. It means good things are coming. So yeah, today is July 10th. So I'm just gonna use that as a metric to, you know, going forward, see how long it takes for things to be fully stocked here. Things are probably going to be pretty delayed here just because it takes a lot longer for things to be shipped and stocked in these stores since we're an island. But I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. And I went a little ham yesterday because if you didn't see, Anthropologie posted or like released their Halloween line. I think this was a couple weeks ago now, honestly. But I've been on the fence because it's so expensive, guys. Like, I'm sure if you know about Anthropologie at all, you're gonna be like, yeah, duh. I mean, that's their shtick. I mean, it's really expensive stuff. So in the past years, there hasn't really been anything where I've been like, I have to have that. And except for last year, there were these 2, like a set of 2 candlesticks. And they kind of looked like a branch, and I was on the fence about getting them because they were pretty expensive just for 2 candlesticks, and they sold out, and they never brought them back, and they're not back this year, so I'm assuming that was that, and I'm a little bit bummed about it, but that's okay. I think all I've ever gotten from them, other than that, has been 2 candles. They were like shaped, or they're kind of carved out of some form of wood, and they just smelled really great and they looked so cute. So I've burned through one of them and I've still kept it as decor because it's just really pretty. And I knew I was going to do that because I was like, for the price they charged for those candles, I was like, I'm going to have to keep them. Like, it's going to be something I'm going to be able to keep because I couldn't justify spending that much on candles, guys. So the end of that rant is that their line this year is so cute. Like, they have a variety of different things, so it's not like a singular line that's cohesive. They have lots of different things. I'm trying to think of what. Well, recently they released some candlesticks. Why do I keep saying candlestick holders? Candlesticks that I thought were very, very cute. But again, it's like $22 for a set of 2. They are really nice, but I'd I'd rather spend that on something else, personally. Also, most likely for stuff that is kind of sculptural. I don't get why this is the trend that's happening. Maybe you all can speak to this, but I feel like for holidays, they're releasing these really intricate candles, and like no one's gonna burn them. Who's burning these candles? Like, they're just too pretty to burn. So, not really quite sure about that, and it's also why I can't really justify paying for that, because I know I'm not gonna burn them, if that makes sense. So I feel like they would get dusty and gross. I rest my case. So they have a lot of different things. Some things that were Joanna Parker inspired, like some kitchen towels, like tea towels, I guess, and lots of bowls and plates. But the main thing that got me, that I was like, I'm definitely purchasing this. This is so pretty. And honestly, I'd probably just keep it out year round, were these two spider web bronze sconces for the wall. And they're just really pretty. I just really like them. They give it kind of this like mid-century modern. It's a huge truck right next to me. Sorry if it's really loud. Kind of a mid-century modern look. And I really like them, so that I knew I was gonna get. Then they have a similar sort of styled set of 4 coasters that were bronze in spider webs, and I also knew that I really wanted to get those. I think they had them last year as well, and I think they also might have the same style metal sort of like placemats. So, yeah, those 2 I knew I was getting. Then they released this they have this bistro tile sort of line. I guess they might release them for different holidays too. I'm not too familiar with it. But they released a Halloween version of them. And I was kind of on the fence about it, because I'm like, this isn't really in your face spooky. Hold on, I know that there are bats and there are black cats, and it says tricks and treats and ghoulish and witching hour, all that kind of stuff, but for me, it's not super in your face Halloween. It's kind of, people have been saying, a classier take on Halloween. It's more subtle, I guess. So if you'd want something that could be used year round, I feel like this would be a good line. So they have a popcorn bowl, they have plates, I think they have like appetizer style plates, they have I think 1 or 2 mugs that have the bat and the cats on them, and then they also have these little espresso cups that have like a matching little plate with them, I think. And then some like trick-or-treat sort of dishes. I think actually those just might be the dinner plates, but really, really, really pretty. Like, I can't even describe how pretty this is. Just went through a tunnel. And they... Okay. That was weird. It's over now. I'm out of the tunnel. Not quite sure what that was. But anyways, the bistro tile line at Anthropology. So they also have these jars that, sort of a matching pair of jars that say tricks and treats. So one of them says tricks, one of them says treats. Then they also have these little, what could be like a utensil holder. I think one of them has bats on it, and then the other one has cats. I'm pretty sure. So I was in a dilemma, because there are so many things, and I was sort of, it's one of those situations where, you know how it happens, where you look at something and you're like, this isn't immediately something I would see myself having, but you think to yourself, if I see someone else unbox this, or if I see it in person, it's really going to be the deciding factor for me. And that's essentially what happened. I went looking for videos of people unboxing it. I saw one video of someone unboxing just one of the things in this line, and immediately I was sold. I was like, I need to have these things. And I can't have it all because the girl ain't made of money. So I still ended up making some reckless decisions because, like I told you, the first two things I just knew I was going to get. Those things, to me, I would use every single year. They seem really high quality. And we do have an anthropology here, so I can return it if I don't like it, or if it comes damaged, because that's also could be likely. Yeah, so I last night went through so many different ways to try to find a discount, because I usually sit on this stuff and I am not the type of person. Let me just put it this way. If I see something I really like, I'm not impulsive about it. I usually just mull over it so much. But when it comes to these Halloween things, depending on what the item is, you kind of can't. You have to just pull the trigger, and especially if it's a place you can return later, it's just better to do that. It's better to be safe than sorry, because especially with anthropology, it'll sell out and they just won't bring it back. There was a puzzle I really liked on there, it already sold out, and that's that. So I was trying to find a coupon because they released a coupon last week. It was 20% off, and I had it in my cart, but I was like, this is too much. I don't know if I would have spent this much. I've never spent this much in one go, like on a Halloween line, or like, I guess, a group of Halloween things. It's usually dispersed. But I was like, you know, I can return it, and if I don't get it now, I'm gonna be sorry, because they usually don't bring like limited edition things, to my knowledge, the anthropology we have here on island. So I just ended up getting it. And I'm very excited, and I'm just crossing my fingers and toes that it gets here in one piece and it's not shattered, because just everything has to ship over, like obviously everything has to ship, but how do I like put this? I guess the way that things get here can be questionable sometimes. I've had some damaged boxes, more so than maybe the average person on the mainland would have. So I rest my case. I shopped for that. Then I also shopped for some things on Tjmaxx, because as you may know, if you have a king-size bed, it is very hard to find very nice looking king-sized sheets. The first pair of king-size sheets, I violated my first rule, which is that I wasn't impulsive about it. I guess I didn't violate it, but I sat on it and I knew they were really cute. Immediately sold out. I don't have them anymore. So a new pair of king-size sheets popped up, and I was like, these are nice. I mean, they're not as good as the first ones, but again, I was like, you know what, I might as well just get them, and if I really don't like them, then I will just return them, because I have that option now, compared to being in Japan. So I also got a few more things to make the shipping minimum, because I can also, you know, return those if I don't like them. And I ended up doing that. So we got a couple things there that I will be sharing later in a different video. But yeah. So I'm very excited. We got a lot of different things happening, different things brewing. I have already reached my maximum of what I can spend this month, but we have things trickling in, and we have other things that we can do that will be spooky fun this month. Oh, this weekend, I'm going to an Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy. One of my husband's coworkers invited us, so I might film a little bit of that to show you guys what that's like, if I can. And I'm really excited because one of my favorite brands is called Vixen by Micheline Pitt, and she does a lot of different spooky kind of pinup styled clothing, and there's been this one dress that I've been wanting to get for a long time. Like, at this point, probably I can confidently say years, but it's been a little bit on the pricier side. I'm not one to really wear dresses too often, so it was kind of hard to justify, but she does this thing once per year, which is like kind of a sample sale. It's kind of, she calls it like a backlot sale. So they have their stuff like up to 80% off, and you can get stuff that's non-damaged. So I got it. I hope, fingers crossed, that it gets here tomorrow and I can wear that on Saturday, because that would be really cool with my pumpkin bag to wear. Is it going to be super extra? Am I probably going to be the only person absurdly dressed? Yes I will. Is that uncommon for me? No, it's not. So I'm excited. I'm pretty excited about that. There are so many different things coming out, and I'm trying to almost predict what's coming out so that I can save that spooky coin, because you know how it is. I feel like every year it gets earlier and earlier when these brands drop their stuff, and it's like overwhelming, and trying to predict when things will happen and not purchasing things when I can purchase them later, because at this point I know what brands release stuff that will go super quick, that I really want, and what other ones I'm like, they're gonna have this forever. Like, it's not that pertinent, you know? That's the hardest thing to predict. So with that said, another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking out all of my spooky decor this weekend with my husband. And I know what some of you are thinking, Jenny, it's July. It's not even mid-July, okay? It's the beginning of July. And to that, I have to say, I don't care. And also, I've said this like on my Instagram before, but I live in Hawaii. It is hot. It is a steady 82 degrees. Cool, like year round, okay? I am constantly sweating, constantly, all right? So the idea that I have to wait for fall, there is no fall here, okay? Time stops in Hawaii. It is the same temperature. I'm not necessarily complaining about that, okay? It's nice that it's sunny. I get that vitamin D every day, okay? But waiting for a month to happen, or like a seasonal change to happen, to put out my spooky decor is sort of meaningless here, because there is just nothing to really market that, if that makes any sense. So I'm putting it up. The second reason being that my husband's leaving for several months for work, and I don't know, it's my favorite for us to experience like the spooky season together, and he won't be here for that whole season. So I really want us to be able to experience that together before he leaves. So we're gonna put that out together, and we're gonna like just have some fun and enjoy that while we can, because we're gonna be spending the season separate from each other. That's sort of it for my plans. So moving on to what I'm looking for. I am looking for Joanna Parker stuff, okay? She announced last year that I guess her deals with these stores are finished. So I'm looking for them. I've been seeing a lot of people post her stuff. So I don't know if they're just having sort of like a blowout sale of her things, and just everyone is finding all of them. Now, I have quite a bit of her things, but there's this one thing that I really want, and I'll insert it over here. I want that thing so bad. It's like a spooky, ghosty, I don't even know. I don't know what it is, like a jar or something, and God knows I don't need another jar, but I need this jar. I need this jar, okay? So I'm looking for that jar, and my friend, bless her, she got me these really, really cute haunted house towels, and it was super happenstance because I'm in all the Halloween groups or whatever, and I saw someone post these Halloween towels, and I screenshotted them and I put them into my phone into like a spooky album, and I was like, I need these towels, like I need them. And not even the next day, she was like, oh, Home Goods is like posted, she lives in the mainland, so she was like, oh, Home Goods like posted or released all their like spooky stuff already, and she shared the picture of the towels, and I was like, could you maybe please get me those towels? And she's an angel, and she went back and she got me those towels, so I got them. Also, another thing I do not need at all, but I think this year I want to focus a little more on having more spooky stuff upstairs. Like I only have enough decor that fits like in our living room and the kitchen, but none of the bathrooms get decorated. Our bedroom doesn't get decorated at all, so I just want a little bit of more stuff upstairs, and yeah, I think that would be really nice to have, since I ain't gonna really stop getting the spooky stuff, so we're kind of at max capacity when it comes to the living room, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of it. That's what we're looking for today. So I'm gonna leave you because I've been talking for an eon at this point, and I will see you whenever we go into Tjmaxx. Okay, bye. Alright, so here we are, guys, our first time going to Tjmaxx together. I was so excited, especially because this was the first time I saw as much Halloween as I have going out to Tjmaxx. So it was really exciting, and they had so many different candles. I am not allowing myself to buy any candles for right now. This one smelled incredible, and the packaging was so, so cute. This one was really cute too. It had kind of like this camping setup, and I feel like there's a lot of different candles like this right now. Little ghosty plush with the little bat, and a lot of different candles that had this embroidered lid sort of situation. Very big fan of that. I feel like I'd try to find a way to use the container once I had burned the candle away because they're just too cute to throw away. We got some more different kinds of candles that have that embroidered topping, a sequined ghost, and this candle, which didn't really smell too good. I bought this last year, so heads up after you burn it. And this happened. I was so scared once this happened, but then I looked at all the other ones. Guys, I was cracking up so hard. And then some candles with the ghost walking a dog, which is super popular. I think it was a thing last year, and now there's tons of things like that. And some Hello Kitty salt and pepper shakers. And that's that. You guys, we did it. We saw Halloween. We found the Halloween. It was small, but mighty. So now I'm gonna head over to Marshall's. I almost said Michael's. We also don't have Michael's. Yeah, who would have thought? So I'm gonna head over to Marshall's, and hopefully there's a little bit more there. So we'll see. I'll see you guys then. Okay, now here we are going into Marshall's, and I was shooketh, okay? Was not expecting this much Halloween, and here we are. It was So exciting. And these girls actually in the back were just squealing, like saying like, this is so cute, which I agree. And they just had a lot of different things. I feel like the last place, Tjmaxx, had a ton of candles, but this place had actual like Halloween decor and props, like just more variety. This one was really cute. And some of these pumpkins, which I know were really popular last year. This gal, like the Medusa sort of, I guess, bust. Some skellies, more ghosties, of course, and some of that pink sort of like poppy kind of decor that's, you know, kind of becoming a thing this year, like the pastels. And this is just me giving y'all a fit check. And I only saw one of these blankets, and I thought that the other one was a different kind because it had different colors, but it was the same blanket. And then these were the last things I saw, I think, which were some table runners. This one was actually very cute. So had the ghosties holding different things, which is adorable. And another one of those skull blankets, but this one was more just, it's just black and white versus the other one that had multiple colors. And then these soaps, again, the packaging, like I loved these soaps. Really, really cute. I did not smell them, so I'm not sure if they have good scents, but the packaging is on point. And that's it. That's all we saw for Marshalls. Wow. That Marshalls did not disappoint. They had a decent selection of Halloween stuff out. I was like actually super surprised. I think there's only 2 Marshalls on the whole island. Compared to Tjmaxx, there's like, I want to say 4 or 5. And there was actually a lot in there. I almost didn't want to go in there either. So, super shocking. I'm gonna show in a second like all the stuff that I saw for Tjmaxx and also for Marshalls. Something I did notice is that they have a lot of shelves bare. So I'm sure that next week I'll definitely stop by to check on their progress because I think they'll have more stuff out, honestly, at that point. Yeah, oh my gosh, I am so excited. Well, as luck would have it, my camera died right in the parking lot of Marshalls, but now we are back home. So I just wanted to come back on here to end the video and say that we went to a Tjmaxx and a Marshalls. It's not over. We're gonna continue to go to other Tjmaxx's and Marshalls and maybe even a Ross. You sprinkle that in there. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, post a little ghosty emoji to let me know that you watched the whole thing. And I will see you next time. Bye!